Welcome to the Explainer. Today we're going to tackle something that stops a lot of people from getting mental health support, and that's the cost. We're going to show you exactly how to find free, accessible online therapy and really help you take that first crucial step. So let's just start with a question that I'm sure a lot of you have thought about. You know that therapy could probably help, right? But then you see the cost. $60, maybe $150 a session, and it just feels like this impossible hurdle to get over. Well, if that sounds familiar, the most important thing to know is you are definitely not alone in feeling that way. And here's the really good news. Even if cost is a big concern, you've got options. And today, we're going to walk through exactly what they are step by step. Okay, so before we dive in, let's just make sure we're on the same page. What do we even mean by online therapy? Well, it's pretty much what it sounds like, professional counseling that you do remotely. And look, this isn't some less effective substitute. For a lot of people, it's actually a way more suitable and comfortable alternative to traditional in-person sessions. And it's not just about being convenient either. This stuff is actually backed by some pretty solid research. For instance, a big meta-analysis back in 2018 found that online cognitive behavioral therapy is just as effective for things like anxiety and depression. Get this, sometimes it even leads to longer-lasting results than face-to-face sessions. Pretty amazing, right? All right, so the big question, where do you actually find professional therapy for free? Let's start by looking at the most direct routes, the kinds of places you might already be connected to without even realizing it. Okay, so your first stops should really be these four key areas. A lot of employers have something called an Employee Assistance Program, or EAP. That's basically confidential counseling that your company pays for. If you're a student, oh man, your college health center is a fantastic resource. And don't forget to check out nonprofits or even your state's health department. They often have lists of free or really low-cost services. Now, let's take a closer look at what this all means for you. The key thing to remember here is that in almost all these cases, we're talking your job, your school, your state, you are getting access to licensed therapists. That's huge. The cost is usually covered by the institution itself, which means it's completely, totally free for you. But one-on-one therapy isn't the only game in town. Let's expand our search a bit and look at some alternative forms of support. Because honestly, sometimes the right kind of help isn't a traditional session. It's something else entirely. Yeah, beyond formal therapy, there's this whole ecosystem of support out there. You've got support groups for specific issues where you can connect with people who really get what you're going through. There are mobile apps with tools like guided meditation right there on your phone. And this is so important. If you are ever in an immediate crisis, hotlines are there for you 24/7. They're free and they're confidential. This kind of breakdown is super helpful for figuring out your path. See the key distinction here? Online forums can be great for getting advice from peers, but you're not usually talking to a licensed therapist. On the other hand, a lot of the best mental health apps today can actually connect you directly with licensed professionals. It's all about matching the resource to what you specifically need right now. Okay, I know that's a lot of options we just threw at you. So how do you possibly pick the one that's right for you? Well, it really comes down to weighing the benefits and knowing exactly what to look for. All right, so the crucial thing here is to just be realistic. The pros, they're huge. We're talking lower cost, way better accessibility, and often more confidentiality. But you got to look at the cons too. A bad internet connection can totally ruin a session. And it's just harder for a therapist to pick up on things like body language through a screen. Knowing both sides of the coin is what helps you make a really informed choice. So when you think you've found a provider, use this little 5-step checklist. Do they offer the kind of communication you want, like video or phone or chat? And this is critical. Are their therapists licensed to practice in your state? Is your data secure? Any reputable service is going to have clear, easy-to-find answers for all of these questions. Okay, so we've covered the what, the where, and the how. Now it's time to talk about the most important part of all. What do you do next? So, what's the big takeaway from all this? I think it's this. The path to getting support might seem like it's full of roadblocks, but it is absolutely navigable. Seriously. Whether it's professional therapy you get through your job, or maybe peer support in an online group, help is often so much closer than you think. So let's end on this thought. This whole thing isn't just about knowing your options. It's about feeling empowered to act. So think about it. Right now, what is one small, tiny step you can take today? Maybe it's just checking your company's HR website, or maybe it's downloading one of the apps we talked about. Heck, maybe it's just sharing this explainer with someone you think might need it. That one small step, it could honestly make all the difference.